Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Callum the Biologist with me, Callum, a National Fire Biologist in the Highlands of Scotland. Welcome to episode 4, where today we're going to be speaking all about the COVID-19 messenger RNA vaccine and how it works. So, first of all, I am now on Instagram at Callum the Biologist, so please do not hesitate to go and give me a follow. So, in the last episode, we began to speak all about DNA and the production of proteins. We briefly touched on messenger RNA, and we know that this is a complementary copy of the part of the DNA in the nucleus. We learned that messenger RNA travels to a ribosome to determine the order of amino acids used. So, what is messenger RNA? Messenger RNA is a single-stranded RNA molecule that is complementary to one of the DNA strands of a gene. The messenger RNA is a RNA version of a gene that departs the nucleus and travels to the cytoplasm where the proteins are made. Throughout protein synthesis, the ribosome moves along the messenger RNA that reads the base pairs and uses the genetic code to translate the base layers into the identified amino acids. So, let's speak a little bit about the COVID-19 vaccine and how it works. So scientists have designed a messenger RNA vaccine that pressures the cells to produce proteins that replicate those found in a certain virus. This year, companies have been working hard to create a vaccine that fights against the SARS-CoV-2, and this is the virus that causes COVID-19. So the SARS-CoV-2 is the virus, COVID-19 is the disease. The SARS-CoV-2 messenger RNA vaccine contains a message for proteins that helps the virus to infect cells. Once this has been injected, the cells receive messenger RNA and uses it as a template to make different viral proteins. This results in the proteins triggering the immune cells and leads to the production of antibodies. This means that if a person gets exposed to coronavirus, then these antibodies will recognize the protein of the virus, and this will help them help the immune system to detect and destroy the virus before it becomes an illness. So, the vaccine that we currently have is the BioNTech Pfizer vaccine. However, the Oxford AstraZeneca has also been approved, and that began the rollout on Monday. So many people have been receiving both of these viruses at present. The Pfizer vaccine offers us a 95% protection against the coronavirus. Fun fact for you, although the vaccination offers about 70% to 95% protection against coronavirus, the vaccine gives you 100% protection against being hospitalized and dying from the virus. In the next couple of slides, we're going to take a close investigation into a case study, and we are going to just read over a scenario that happened a couple of days ago. So some content mentioned in this may upset some viewers watching. So this is an article that was taken from the BBC News, and it's titled "Close to Death from COVID, I Asked Them to Save My Baby." And this was written by Dr. John Wright, and it reads, "When a young woman was brought to hospital struggling to breathe and 7 months pregnant, staff at Bradford Royal Infirmary knew that they had 2 lives to save. Maypara, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that second name because it's going to cause offence, is 22, a graduate of Exeter University who came to live in Bradford with her husband Ali and his family. They weren't going out much after the coronavirus arrived," she says, "just to the supermarket to buy a few essentials for their baby who was due in December 2020. But at the start of October, Maypara got a headache and a cough. She then started losing her sense of taste and smell and realised that she probably had COVID. She and Ali isolated in the room at the top of the house. Ali's mother left food outside the doorway on a tray. In only 2 or 3 days, though Maypara's breathing became so bad that Ali called an ambulance. On her first night in hospital, her condition deteriorated even further and was moved to ICU. In the first wave of coronavirus back in spring, we had no patients who were both pregnant and critically ill. Maypara was the first. and Debbie Horner, a maternal critical care lead, took a close interest in this case. Midwives and other professionals had been checking the baby's heart rate and she was absolutely fine. Debbie told Mimpara at the point that the best place for the baby was in the womb. But she added that at some point it might have been in Mimpara's best interest for the baby to be delivered by caesarean section, because at 7 months she would be fine in an incubator on a neonatal ward. She explained this to the telephone to Ali also. This photo here is Debbie Horner, and the right is her without any PPE and in full PPE on the left. So she looks like a completely different woman, I'm not going to lie to you. On this photo here, she looks totally, I wouldn't recognise her. She, obviously, due to all the gowns and PPE that she's wearing, she's bulked up a little bit. It's just totally unrecognisable. This was probably taken 2019, start of 2020, I imagine. This photo was probably taken November 2020, October, November. That's my best bet. Mipara became more and more worried. I just thought I'm not going to survive and something's going to happen to my baby, she says. So I said to the nurse that I want to have a caesarean section so that they could just take her out. I said, I just don't think I'm going to make it, so I think you should save my baby. She remembers talking to Debbie at the time. She was really reassuring. She said, we're not going to let anything happen to you, and we're not going to let anything happen, and we're going to save you and the baby. But Mimpara was not convinced that Debbie was right. As the time went on, Mimpara's condition became more troubling. Debbie confirmed with the intensive care consultant on duty, and they worried about the extra energy and oxygen demands that the baby was generating and the additional pressure pushing on Mimpara's lungs. Between her life and the baby's life, it's a fine balance, and we thought that we had probably got to the point where the balance was that we needed to deliver the baby, Debbie says. So if you get an opportunity for this vaccine, I would strongly suggest that you get it. Unfortunately, many people like Mimpara have tested positive for coronavirus. So please, opt in for this vaccine, as it could save their lives. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you did enjoy, make sure you like the video. Our next episode is going to be all about proteins, and back to the National 5 Unit 1 course, all about the DNA, cell structure, transport across cell membranes. So we're going to have proteins is going to be the next video. Then we're going to have a video all about coronavirus. And then we're going to continue on, finish off the Unit 1, and then we're going to progress to Unit 2. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and stay home. Best wishes, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.